Hi guys, it's Chris with City Your Homestead. Time for day 2 of stocking stuffer pantry foods. So I've been thinking about things that I want, and all of these, by the way, I forgot to say in the last video, they are good as long as they're in an airtight bag or jar for 6 months to a year. So it's not like your kids or whoever you're making them for, or yourself, that you have to go and make them that night or within a week or two. It's not, as long as it's in an airtight container or airtight bag, then you can keep them 6 months to a year. That's quite a while. So today's is going to be something that I hope the kids really like, and it is the Spanish rice mix. And it says to prepare it, melt 2 tablespoons of butter in a saucepan, add the jar of mix and 2 cups of water or chicken broth. Cover and simmer until rice is cooked thoroughly and water is absorbed, approximately 20 minutes. So let's get these set up here. Now this one, you can do one of 2 things, and I will tell you when I get right to that. So let's bring you over here. So the first thing that we need is a half cup of uncooked spaghetti noodles. Now you can take your spaghetti and break them into pieces, but because I'm giving these as gifts, I wanted them to be prettier. So what I'm going to use is orzo, which you can use that, it's no problem, and substitute it for the broken spaghetti. And you're going to still want to do a half cup. Now if you want to do the broken spaghetti, just break them into smaller pieces and that'll be fine. But I thought for gifts it'd look a little bit nicer if I use the orzo. But that's just my personal opinion. You do you and whatever you're comfortable with. And try not to get it all over the countertop like I'm doing. But I think that looks better than a bunch of broke up spaghetti. Now if I was to make it up for myself, I would just use the broken spaghetti. I don't think I've ever bought orzo before, but I was kind of looking up and see what you could do with it, and you can substitute it for that. Because let me show you, for those of you like me that have never used it. See how small the grains are? It's almost like rice size. So we've got our half cup of uncooked noodles. Now we need 3/4 cup of white rice. I've got my cup measuring spoon or cup. I'm just going to go down to what I think would be 3/4 cup. I mean, you could buy a big bag of rice and do a bunch of these up for the next 6 months for yourself or for your family, however you want to do it. You know, if you do them once a week, whatever you do, you know, and then that way you have something that's all done up. And I'm going to put these down just a little bit so they don't move around so much. There we go. The thing about it is, especially since the new election and they're talking about all the junk that's in our food and whatever, and I'm sure we've all thought about it in the past, but I think it's a little bit more like, you know what I mean, now that it's coming out to the front. So when we can make things like this for our families, for ourselves, for our friends, whatever it happens to be, I think it's nice to know that you have more pure things to put into your body. Not that any of that stuff is healthy or anything like that, but just the idea of putting in, you know, more pure ingredients. So now we need a teaspoon of salt. I know, salt's in everything, isn't it? But actually, I know that we're not supposed to use a lot of salt, but you do need salt to survive. And that's why they say one of the things to stock in your pantry is salt. Because it can preserve food. It can do a lot of different things. All right, so now the next thing we need is 1 teaspoon of minced onion. So we're going to get that put in there. Tom loves Spanish rice. He loves Mexican rice, all that. So I think this will be one that he really likes. I'm not making any for us today, but I will be. I think I want to make up some of this stuff because I don't make rice very often. But I think that it would be nice to have on hand that I can just stick in my pantry over there. And then if I'm not sure of what a side dish is, I've got something for a side dish. That never hurts. Now we want a half a teaspoon of chili powder. And I'm going to make it a nice half teaspoon because I think chili powder just makes everything better. Not everything, but you know what I mean. It really does. Now, the last one was enough for 2 different meals. This one's just for 1. My bag's not wanting to close. It's being a pain. Now I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to mix everything together. Even though it's only for 1 dish, I just think it looks prettier when it's mixed together. And it's going to get mixed together in your pan too. But check that out. Now see how the orzo makes it look just about like with the rice? So that, you know, I think the broken up spaghetti would make it look more, I don't know what the word would be for it, but I don't think it's pretty, if that makes any sense. And with the gifts, I want them to be pretty. For myself, I don't care. I'll break up spaghetti. Let's get all these, the air taken out of all these. Now, I'm not going to put these in a stocking, but I am going to put them in the, I'm using a laundry basket, and I'm putting all the things that I've made for them in a laundry basket. That was Tom's idea, so that, you know, they have a laundry basket to use when they're done. And I don't have to worry about getting my milk crates and stuff back. I'll show when I get everything done and all the canned goods I want from downstairs. I'll show you guys how much stuff they really are getting. They're getting quite a few meals, so. And, you know, different sweets and stuff like that. You know, I see all these channels that are talking about how to do Christmas cheap and whatever. And honestly, you know, Christmas shouldn't be about the gifts. But if you're going to exchange gifts, why not it be things that you know that your family could use or want or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with made with love gifts. I love when my kids make me gifts. So, you know, and these are things that they can make their lives a little bit simpler. So there we go. Spanish rice mix. I'm telling you, these are going to be great. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And I'll see you for supper.